We are here at Whilton Mill today racing in Club 100 round 2, which has been postponed from earlier in the year. As you can kind of guess, it's round 2 and we are in September. Last round we raced in was round 8 at Landau, which was absolutely soaking wet. This time it's dry. But yeah, this is now round 2 of the championship, even though we've just done round 8. If you're not aware of what Club 100 is, it's probably the highest level of rental karting you can do in the UK, from my opinion anyway. They have the fleet of 2-stroke, I think they're Birrell chassis, not 200% sure on that, but they're 2-stroke karts, kind of like your D-Max karts at Daytonas. But they have their own fleet of karts. They take them around all the UK outdoor tracks, and they have loads of different championships they host for you guys to join. It's pretty expensive for what it is, but for the highest level, I mean, you get given good karts, and the racing is also really good with loads of strong drivers competing. Now, this is the sprint championship they offer, which is probably the most chaotic and probably the best format they do. So you get 3 heats to start off with, okay? So 3 heats with a front, middle and back start-ish. Sometimes you could have a front and 2 middles, like 2 further back middles, or maybe 2 backs and like a pole, something like that. But basically everyone has the same average starting position, similar throughout the 3 heats. Now, before you do go on track, you get a 4-minute warm-up, only 4 minutes, so you get like 3 laps max. This is what you're watching now, is my first flying lap I did before heat 1. Now, there is 3 different classes in Club 100 sprints. You've got C1, Class 1, Class 2 and Class 3, okay? So I am in Class 2, which is kind of the middle average drivers. Class 3 is for the novices, like so let's say you've only gone to team sport indoor tracks, but you just wanted to take a leap and go into outdoor karting. Pretty big leap, but you're more than welcome to do it. So C3, everyone starts with the back, and you know, they're kind of a novice class. Then you've got Class 2, which is all your average drivers. I say average drivers, every driver in here is really good, except for myself. But you know, C2 is your standard class really. And then you've got C1, Class 1, which is all the drivers who are, 1, stupidly quick, and have also been doing it for a while. So, you know, they are well known, they know the karts really well. Anyway, enough rambling on about the Club 100. This is Heat 1. You do have to get your own kind of grid position, so you just get put out in a random order and you have to find yourself your spot. And it's a rolling start where everyone kind of just loads into each other. I was meant to start P11, but I'm now starting P10 because someone didn't turn up. So turn 1, I just wanted to be cautious, but I actually managed to get a pretty good switch back here on a few drivers. That driver on the inside hit the curb and threw him off a bit. So it was a pretty good start. I think I gained 2 positions there up to P8. I couldn't really ask for any more. Now the driver in front of me now is Chris Bull, obviously a BSR driver. Mainly does like the indoor rental and the outdoor rental championships, so I do know him quite well, races with him quite a bit. He goes for a cheeky send there, doesn't really work, so he gets a compromised exit. As you can see in these 2-stroke karts, if you do get yourself bogged down, you do lose quite a lot of time, which is what obviously happened to Chris there. I managed to get alongside him and pretty much overtake him before the apex. So yeah, the 2-stroke karts are all about keeping your revs up and getting the best exit possible. Now, as I said, I only done a few laps before this, only a 4-minute practice, so this is still pretty early days learning the track, so I was still really unsure what to do. Luckily, I had a few good drivers in front of me. If you see the pack flying off in the distance there, I was trying to focus on what they were doing. So lap 2 now, I do give that driver a bit of a tap, push him out a little bit, but I didn't get a penalty for it, so racing is racing. Now, the sprints, from what I've learned of doing a few rounds, I think this is my 3rd round now, it's hard racing. You've got 7 minutes to get up as high in the field as possible. The first few rounds I did, I was really cautious, but from watching videos and talking to regular drivers, you've got to send it, you've got to go for it, because if you don't make them positions, you've only got another 2 races to go, and if you don't do it in your 2nd race, you've got 1 7-minute race left to get a good result. After your 3 heats, you do get a final race. So you get everyone points gets all totaled up together, and the top points go into A final, middle points B, and the bottom scoring points go to the C final. Club 100 do a promotion system as well, so if you do finish top 2 in the C final, you get put to the back of the grid for B, and if you get top 4 in the A final, the B final, you get put to the A final. Now the best result I've had is the C final. I think it was like 5th or something like that. No, sorry, I stand corrected. Round 8 I come mid pack in the B final. So I haven't had an A final yet, so I really wanted to do that. Now as you see, this driver made a mistake there, managed to get alongside him, but it's a left-hander coming up, so there's not much I could do there. You see in front, the pack is just starting to go away, drive away. It does happen, especially with slipstream down at Whilton Mill, down my back straight. It's quite powerful. Now I do go for a little send, a little bit inside, but as I said, it's still early doors and I still wasn't really learning the track. And here, coming into that new section of Whilton Mill, this guy, as I said, managed to get a good exit and just get me around the outside. There's not much I could do. You can't really go too wide into that corner anyway. So I just wanted to get my head down. As I said, I've already gained 3 positions from where I started up into P7, so I was quite happy with this. I did feel like my kart was pretty fast down the straights as well, but I think kart parity here is pretty good. There's not much difference in them. It's a really good standard of racing if you wanted to get into it. Now, just on the back of this driver, I kind of wanted to push forward to catch up to the guy in P6, I think it is. No, sorry, that's the guy right in front of me. P5 there, the white suit who I was right behind, because I know that I was faster than him because I caught up to him. So maybe this guy is also really good, and we can work together and catch up. Because as I said, you only get 8 laps, 7 minutes, so you've got to kind of, it's a mixture between just sending it and working together, because if a pack in front of you pulls away, then you not have time to catch back up, because as I said, it's only 7-minute heats. Now, onto lap 4, still just right behind this guy. There's not much more I can do. Just following him, but we are catching to that driver, as I just mentioned. The pack in front is also battling, so we can kind of catch up. Now, driver goes to an absolute legend of a send, and he just absolutely smashes that curb and smashes that driver off track. So he's gone disappeared, and we've had this driver, I think it's Dante, come through. So this guy in front of me is now a Class 1 driver. I know he's a good driver. I've raced a few races with him before and he's absolutely smoked me. So I just wanted to try and follow him through. As you see, he's just gone for 2 overtakes in 2 laps, in 2 corners, sorry. So I kind of wanted to get behind him and see what I could do, but I still had this kart in front of me in my way. And I didn't really know what to do in terms of overtaking. I'm not really too brave in my brakes. And you know, I don't want to get a penalty because penalties are quite harsh at Club 100. It's normally a +4 for just a little bit of contact. Now from lap 5 we are skipping to the last lap because I don't want to keep the footage short, and nothing much happened. As you can see, the driver in front of me managed to pull away and I'm just kind of in my own world, which is good because I get to learn the track, but I have to worry about defending, I don't have to worry about attacking. I've got quite a big gap from behind me, they must have been battling. So you know, I'm just learning the track, which is quite good. It's my first heat, sets me up for the other 2 heats pretty well. So P7, I've gained 3 positions from where I started, which you know I'm really happy with. P7, if you can keep P7 up for all your 3 heats, so you're going to be bottom, you're going to be pretty well suited for the A final. So just coming through these last few corners, and then if you saw them cones on the curb, okay, Club 100 do like track limits as cones. So if you do hit a cone, you get a warning. Your second violation of hitting a cone, you get a penalty, which is 1 position. And then any more of that, it just keeps on getting added on and added on. So as you see, checker flag here, cross the line in P7, really happy with that, and I managed to get quite a lot of track time in terms of learning the track. So we're going to go straight into Heat 2, where I'm starting P13. So as you can see, only about 3 places difference from what I had before. Now, seeing the bottom left, Danny POV. So I am joined by some teammates from Connecticut Racing Team, Danny Hale and Alfie Hale. They obviously did the indoor championships with me the other year, and they're now part of Connecticut Racing Team. Now, unfortunately, with these karts, they do have a GoPro mount. You're not allowed them on your helmet, so Club 100 don't allow helmet mount cameras, and some of the mounts are just different sizes to all the others. So my camera was about to fly off if I put it on my car. So you are joined by Danny's POV. I'm starting P13, Danny's like P10 or something like that. So I'm only a few karts behind him, and you will see me later on. So yeah, just looking at Danny's POV there, decent start. Kind of did what I did on my first heat, get a nice switch back, and got I think only the 1 driver though. So I couldn't tell you what position Danny's in, but if you look at the top right, that's what position I'm in terms of the laps. Obviously I don't know where I am right now. I might have gained a few positions, but obviously when I cross the line, it keeps me updated. So I might be lower than P13, I might be higher. As I said, I don't know. We're watching Danny's POV. You got a bit unlucky there with a few drivers freight training through. What another thing in these karts as well, if someone gets on your inside, people just push through, and you could get overtaken by 3 cars in one corner because they're all working together, pushing each other along. 3 engines is better than 3 engines is better than 1 engine. So yeah, this is only lap 1. We are going to skip to lap 3 after this lap 1, because that's when I come along. But yeah, that's lap 1 for Danny. I'm pretty sure he's lost only a few positions, so not too bad at all. So yeah, after this second corner here, we're going to skip to lap 3, where I am in P12. At the start of lap 3, I'm in P12, so I've gained 1 position so far, which isn't really good, you know, compared to last time. But it's quite, as I said, it's really hard racing at Club 100. You've got to be on it straight away, and you've only got 8 laps to do it. Now here, coming up in a few secs, Danny does have a bit of a moment. Almost ended his race, but he didn't. Luckily, he managed to save it. If you look here, someone comes up on his inside and gets hit, just comes wide and just completely hits him off. Bit unfair. I can't remember if that guy had a penalty or not. But then here I am, as I said, if you get overtaken by one person who has a bad run, everyone follows you through. I'm telling Danny, let's work together, let's catch up, and let's gain some positions. So now P11, want to get my head down after that good result in my first heat. And Danny does lower me a bit here, but oh well, he loses himself time, but me. Anyway, so yeah, as you can see in front, trying to get my head down, catch up to the guy in the blue suit. Danny's already lost quite a bit of time, but as I said, we've all only had a few laps to warm up and practice, so it's not too bad. So yeah, lap 4, P11. Let's see what I can do. As you can see now, we have pulled away a little bit from Danny. So you see he's missing the apexes, he's having loads of moments. And you can see how much time you lose from just like getting your revs down just that little bit. You lose quite a lot of time. So lap 5 now, still in P11. I want to try and get top 10 at least, because you know, you need to be top 10 minimum to get any chance of being on the A final. We have skipped from lap 5 to lap 6, and as you can see, Danny has lost the position, but I'm still just in front, and I'll actually go for a little dive bomb there, if you see that in the distance into this corner, get the position done. So up to P10 now, okay. As you see, there's about 3 or 4 carts in front of me, make that 5 carts actually, but we're all pretty close together. With only a few laps left, I knew I had to get my head down and just go for it. So up to P10, I want to get P6, P7 at least. You see there, go for a little dive into that corner, but it's not going to work because it's 2 right-handers into a left-hander. I had to kind of back out because, as I said, you can't go too wide into this new section of Whilton Mill. It's just a death wish, and you're going to get just switchbacked by everyone. You're going to lose all your time. Right on the back of that driver in front. I can't remember if I go for an overtake here. No, I don't think so. But you see Danny is just slipping off a little bit. As I said, I'm pretty gutted I couldn't have the footage on this race, because I do some really good moves coming to the end of this race. But I mean, I don't want my camera falling off, so it's better than nothing. So as you can see now, there's 3 cars right in front of me, all bunched up, defending for their lives. I managed to go for this corner, still pushing them along. Some driver goes up the inside, and I follow him through to get a position. Nice send up the inside there. This driver, actually, I do feel quite bad for him. He lost 2 positions, but I don't actually care really. So that's up to P9 now. Danny's right on the back. See, now we're all squabbling. Danny's managed to catch right back up. And you see, you've only got 8 minutes. You've got to make most of it if you catch up. On to the last lap now. P9. See how many more positions I can gain. There's 2 carts directly in front of me. Hopefully someone makes a mistake and I can capitalise on it. I do run really wide there. Now we were told in a briefing that if you go 4 wheels onto that curb, it is a track limit warning. Luckily though, I didn't get a track limit warning, so we're all right. I think this is, I can't remember what part, I don't know any of the corners of this track, but it's quite a well-known track. I do a nice switch back there, driver gets a bad run, and I managed to get the place before the corner. And then I do another switch back, on that driver and get another overtake done. So that's 2 overtakes in the space of 2 corners, 2 really nice switchbacks, and a dive bomb up the inside. And as you can see now, I'm just parking the bus. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get any more, and I've got 5 cars behind me. Danny has a little bit of a moment here.
Bye, have a great time.
And yeah, he just goes. So last lap, last corner for him. That's unlucky. Danny didn't get a penalty for that though. And as you see, checker flag. I crossed the line in P7. Danny just loses it on the line there. Can't remember what position he finished. But he just loses another spot there. But that was a really nice double overtake for me on that last lap. Heat 3. We are starting in P2, and if you're eagle-eyed enough, you can see that it is spitting down with rain. And if you look coming into this turn 1, we have absolutely 0 grip. Hasn't been raining for long, but it's enough to just set those slick tyres off. No grip on the circuit whatsoever. Now I knew this was going to be a pain in the arse because I'm starting P2, which means I've got 18 karts behind me. I've got 18 karts behind me, and I can just get loaded, especially the first lap. As you saw, everyone's bunched up together for a rolling start. The problem with P1 and P2 normally is that you just get loaded off into the first corner, especially if it's throwing it down with rain. There's nothing that you can do. You just get loaded off, and it's a bit of a rubbish situation to be in. Just want to get as much warmth into my tyres as possible because I know, as you see, it's spitting it down with rain. You see the pace car in front of us there, doing the spinning around sign with his hand. This means it's a go around. Not everyone's in the right positions. Not everyone's ready, so we're going to go around for another formation lap, which is probably good because it does stop raining about now. So the track will be drying up a little bit. Just want to keep as much heat in the tyres as possible as well. More heat in the tyres, obviously better you are going to be, but it will dry up the rain a bit more as well. Now onto this rolling start. I've got quite a task in hand because if I cross the line before P1 I get a penalty, but I also don't want to be too far behind, and as you can see I completely fluff it up anyway, and P1's already gone. Pretty of a bad start there, but luckily I did manage to keep on to P2. So it's not too bad at all. Do run a bit wide, but I don't think I've got anyone to switch back on me, so I'm alright, yeah. So stay in P2, which is what I wanted. I mean, I didn't want to lose any positions. And then coming into Christmas corner here, I went wide, but I did it on purpose because I thought, you know, it might be wet. The wet line is definitely going around the outside. That's where all the rubber is, that's where all the grip is. But it turns out it's not actually that wet, so I didn't need to do that. It's just like slippy. So I did lose the position there, and this concrete, that curb there was really slippy. I had no grip onto that, so I just went right onto the grass. Managed to save it, and again, another moment here. I'm just getting swallowed up by loads of drivers. This is what I was worried about. I'm not good in these mixed conditions. I haven't experienced it many times before. So, you know, that's where all the other drivers gain on me. I'm now down in P6 after lap 1. Now, as you see, that Dante driver in front of me has passed. I know he's a good driver. He's in C1. There's also a couple of other C1 driving in front of me. I want to try and just follow what they're doing because they're going to know how to capitalise the most time on in these conditions. I do get a warning there. I think that's a track limits warning for smashing and cones. So I ran to that tyre barrier where I lost around positions. But that's not too big of an issue. It's only a warning. Now everyone is kind of doing better. No one knows where the grip is, but it's actually drying up really fast. On the next lap, we're going to be going dry. It's basically the dry line for the rest of the race now. It's pretty much dry from now on. I'm still stuck. I'm still right on the back of these drivers. Just want to see anything I can do, but I'm not really driving my best at the moment. This guy goes for a little bit of a late lunge there. Doesn't really work out for him. And I do manage to get a bit of an overspeed, but there's not much I can do. I don't think my kart was really too off the pace, on the pace for this one. If you saw that, I definitely would have got a bit of exit on that corner, but he just managed to get in front of me anyway. So maybe I was lacking a bit of lower end speed. So yeah, I was happy where I was. I'm in P6, I know that, and I'm not getting overtaken by everyone. And I know that the conditions right now are a bit slippy, so I was quite happy though where I am. I'm doing all right, but I can see other drivers in front of me battling. I wish I was there joining in with the fun. I will be on this corner though because everyone's battling, and I'll catch right back up. That guy in the blue did some long switchback lines, didn't work out for him though. I tried to do that a few times, especially into a few corners, but the switchback doesn't actually gain you much. I'm not really too sure why, to be fair, because it makes sense it would, but you know, you didn't actually gain much from doing it. That guy in the white went for a nice overtake there. The guy in the green just let him back through to lose minimum time possible. Them two gone right to the inside, so I'm going to see if I can fancy my chances to the way to the outside. Follow this guy through, which I think I do. Yep, so I managed to follow that blue guy through on guy in the green. Managed to go around the outside, which again gives me the inside for the next corner. So up into P5 now. Again, really happy with where I am. I expected to be at that by now, spun out on lap 1, but I'm still going halfway through the race. You saw how much time though we've lost to the guys in front. I just want to catch back up. Luckily they are battling. Top 3 now have disappeared, so that's kind of out the charts. Sorry. But yeah, I had a bit of a moment there. The guy coming at me inside, outside, but I had the inside line for the next corner, so it wasn't too much to worry about. As I said, it's completely dry now. Pretty much dry, fastest you can go. But I'm getting quite good at the track now. Learn it. Obviously, it's the second heat. With that heat one, all that track time has done me well. Taking all the curbs as possible, as that's what I got told to do. As much curbs as you can, because that somehow it gives you extra speed in these Rotax karts. I don't know how, but apparently it's what all the owner kart drivers do. That if you like hit the curbs, it gives your engine a boost. I don't actually know, but yeah, we skipped from lap 4 to the last lap. Again, I want to keep these videos pretty short. I've got 4 races to fit into this video. Nothing much happens. I'm in P5 again. I'm just kind of driving on my own. I do have that green driver still right behind me, but he hasn't been a threat. It's kind of been like a 1 second gap between us. So yeah, some good lap practice again, getting ready for them finals and this final heat. Sorry, I stand corrected. This is heat 3. That's correct. So some good practice before the finals. I know where I am right now, P5, is going to set me up to have a good final position. Hopefully I can get an A final. As I said, I haven't had an A final before, so it's setting me up to be really good. Coming in for this last corner, nice and safe. Just wanted to get across the line. Now, unfortunately, I do get a cone penalty in this race. I had a warning from the start, obviously when I hit the tyre barriers, and I hit another cone just for somewhere in the race as well. So that is a 1 position penalty. So I did finish P6. Now, jumping into the A final, I'm starting in P19. Well, if you look at the top right, I'm actually in P21. That's right. I managed to absolutely mess up the start. I was meant to be 2 kart lengths in front, but I'm not. And as you can see, I messed up the start even more. I'm basically starting dead last there. Now the track's completely dry, back to dry racing. I was meant to be a few positions up from where I actually am, but the race has already started. There's not much more I can do. I just need to get my head down. There's only, I think, 7 Class 2 drivers in this race, so I know that there is a chance of getting a podium for Class 2, and I really wonder that. Now there's a lot of people have moments here, so I'll go around the outside and overtake about 3 or 4 drivers there to get up to P19, which is where I was meant to start. So I'm a bit gutted about that, but it's not the end of the world anyway. Around the outside of this driver, doesn't stick, but I thought maybe he might brake a bit earlier because the drivers in front are battling. As I said, this is really chaotic. Starting right at the back, there's loads of drama. Smash into that guy there. This guy comes up my inside, that guy's on my outside, there's nowhere I can go really. Now, this driver in front, as you can see on the suit, Rory O'Regan, I know he's a Class 1 driver. He also won round 8 overall, so I know he's a good driver. So I kind of wanted to stick with him. I'm not too sure what he was doing so far back. I'm pretty sure we overtook him in like the 2nd corner. I think he was going really slow, but I knew that he was a good driver, so I wanted to kind of stick with him and just follow him through, because I knew that he would be getting up to a position, because I also knew that he shouldn't be down here in these low positions. So I kind of wanted to just stick with him. As I said, my first A final, I'm pretty nervous, but there is also a chance of getting a podium for the C2 class. So I really want to get my head down and drive. These final races is 12 minutes long, so you can see we've got 13 laps instead of the 7. So you can take time a bit more, work together with the drivers, but it's still only 12 minutes. You know, you still need to get your overtakes done, especially when there's only 19 drivers if you want to win from last to 26. You've got to overtake 2 drivers every lap. So you know, it's still not a lot of time at all in the grand scheme of things, but it's almost double what you get in heats. Now, the driver who had my kart in the B final, his name's Harrison Earl. He's also got a YouTube channel. Go check him out. He told me about the kart, didn't seem too good, which obviously I don't want to hear, because you know, if you get something in your head about something about the cart's not good enough, then you know you kind of drive to that kart. So yeah, I was a bit gutted about that. Kind of let my motivation down a little bit, but I wasn't too worried. As you see, I make it 3 wide here. I don't really know what I was thinking to do. Try and follow Tommy Lee through, who's in front of me, but it doesn't work. The guy on my inside managed to keep it there. You know, you can't go too wide into that corner. Just going to lose yourself more time. Now, just a little hand signal here. I mean, I was fully alongside. I had every right to try and go for it, but I think he's a bit annoyed that he's down in these low positions. He's getting held up, so I don't think he's too happy. He gives me a few more hand signals later on in the race as well. But I mean, I didn't do anything bad. He also gave me a hand signal once. I didn't even touch him, so it was quite funny. But you see, there's a massive gap between. You got these 5 karts in front of me. There's quite a big gap between the karts in front of them. Now I know that the top 3 from my class are currently in that pack of karts in front, not in the pack of karts I'm with. So you know, expectations were alright, but now they're pretty low considering where I am in the race. I've only gained technically 1 position. As I said, I was meant to start P19, but I've actually started P21. Now, I'm still right behind these drivers. I decided against going for any moves on this Rory driver in front of me. I just wanted to work with him and follow him through on all the other drivers. Rory's a class 1 driver, so there's no point in battling him anyway. But, you know, I just wanted to follow him through. So lap 5, we, you know, actually gained a position. I think in the turn 3, someone was off track and I didn't see. But I was looking at the lap counter and I gained a position on this lap. Almost went around the outside of the driver, but you know, I said I didn't want to battle him. I just wanted to follow him through, which is what I do here. Follow him through at the inside, get a nice overtake done there to P17. Now, lap 5, got about 10 laps left, something like that. It's quite hard to judge the time and how many laps you're going to get left. You have the timer on the board every lap, but you know, you don't actually know how many laps are going to be left. And you see, he gave me a little shake of his hand there. I didn't touch him. I don't know what he's on about. As I said, I think he was a bit mad from position he was in. You see him smashing them curbs there. That's what everyone told me to do. But I mean, I was just breaking my back every lap, so I just decided not to do it. But I mean, he does gain quite a bit of time, so maybe it does help. I don't actually know. But I wanted to save my back instead of going for a good lap time. Now, we see the gaps opened up even more to the drivers in front, so any possibility of doing well just goes out the corner. As you can see, I'm doing some sort of switchback lines, but you know, you don't actually gain much. The driver in front goes for a dive bomb, doesn't really work out. He does because he pushes him off. It's a bit of a dirty move there. Now I'm on the outside, and I do just get swallowed up here. As you said, if someone gets on your inside, you get freight train through. And I was getting loaded into back, which then I loaded into that guy in front of me and pushed him off wide. Wasn't my fault. I couldn't do anything. I was getting loaded for it. And as you can see, I've now dropped down to P22. So that's great. It wasn't my fault. You know, as I said, you just get freight trained out of the way if you do get on the outside. I was getting loaded, which then resulted in me loading into the guy in front. Now, P22, I was pretty annoyed at this point. Especially because at the end of the race, the guy who I was behind, that Rory driver, he managed to finish P11, which would have been P1 in class for me. So if I did follow him through for the whole race, I would have done pretty well, but unfortunately, as you can see, that's not where we are right now. We're in P22. So yeah, I was a bit annoyed, but you know, I just wanted to get my head down, just enjoy the race. I was having a lot of fun on this track. It's such a fun track. The karts are really fun, and the racing is really fun. I was actually just enjoying it more than anything, especially now that I'm down here. You see someone getting pushed along there. Someone's kart is broke already, which is not what you want to see in the A final, because they don't stop the races, they don't change your kart or anything. If your kart breaks, which is rental kart, and I mean, you know, it's going to happen. And if you see on this digiflag now, penalty for kart number 92. I am kart number 92, which is why, if you haven't noticed already, in the top right, I've got a +4 onto my position. So the penalty I got is +4, and if you have a look right now, my kart has just died. No power at all. Yeah, this is one of them things which happens. I parked next to this Marshall, but there's not much more I can do really. My kart's died. I'm now stuck DNF P last. So I'm just waiting for a recovery kart. It was quite fun actually. It did make the experience a bit better. But yeah, gonna get recovered now in a sec. But yeah, unfortunately that's my race over. There's not much more I can do. Just gotta wait to be recovered back to pit lane. A bit gutting really, but I mean I did get a +4 penalty and I was net last anyway, so I'm not too worried about it, to be fair. Now, as you've obviously clearly seen with them sound effects, every driver just drove past me, and I'm now getting recovered. We have the pace kart comes out and pushes you along the track, which is pretty fun. Just getting pushed along, all I have to do is steer. I'm just going to speed through this. As you see, taking me cut throughs, different bit of a track we haven't drove on before. There's also another kart there which is also broke. But yeah, just getting pushed along into pit lane. Getting some cheers from all the spectators there, and this is Harrison Earl coming on the left, who gives me a high five. This is the driver who I said had this kart last time. But yeah, I'm not too disappointed. I enjoyed it. Obviously, coming off a race before the race finished isn't fun either way, but I did enjoy the racing. It was a great day. An A final was something to be proud about anyway. So yeah, as you can see out the kart now. And if you have a look at my shoes, I was not wearing racing shoes. I didn't have my racing shoes. I don't know where they were. So I was racing in trainers. So considering that fact, I think I did pretty well. But as I said, this is where the Club 100 driver comes, Marshall comes over and sees what's wrong with the car. Harrison Earl comes over as well to say hi.
No chain or anything. Died in the straight. Don't even turn around like. Oh no. Broken car. Could have been a good B final. Sorry, A final. Got a penalty anyway, so does it really matter? Not really, but that was well fun.
As you saw there, just some pre-race afterthoughts. P26 obviously last time at A final, and P13 in class. Nothing to be disappointed about. Really enjoyed it. But yeah, thanks for watching.